All for you, I'm down and diligent. Just know I'm down and diligent. I'm down and diligent. Ay, mama always working late. Daddy didn't work today. I got all these bills to pay, and I'm not even thinking straight. Probably twisting up a wood, trying to see what's up today. I've been engineering all my music, feeling all type of way. Drowning in my thoughts, I might get lost up in this tidal wave. Maybe I'm just tired of Seattle, I need brighter day. I get way too high, I lose my mind, I'm thinking all type of shit. Look you in your eyes, I see a star, son, your future lit. Smiling at your mama, all in love, that's my type of chick.
Yo, what's happening? I know it's been a minute, but we back. Down and Diligent Podcast. You already know who you got, man. You got your boy Day. We in here. We're going to continue to drop this heat, drop this fire, man. We're going to do. Tell them what to do, Joey.
Yeah, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Follow us on all social media platforms. We got Instagram, all that, TikTok. TikTok going up.
For sure. And make sure y'all hit that notification bell, man, so y'all could be notified every time we drop a banger. Today we got another banger, you feel me?
Yes, sir.
It's a special interview.
Yes, sir.
Dope. I'm going to say banger. It's a banger.
You gotta get it
Podcast
back.
banger. You feel me?
Right.
That's what we coming at, bro.
I ain't
Hey,
mad
look,
at it.
subscribers been going up.
Subscriber been going up.
Definitely
dude.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
We up probably 150 since the last episode, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
And our last episode got them doing numbers like 7,000. Shout out to Casper and Gertz for coming through too.
Yeah.
That episode. I mean, we've been getting a lot of good. I've been getting a lot of good feedback.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, great feedback from that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
older homies they hit me up and be like, man, I like what y'all
Yeah.
movement, what y'all got going on. So I appreciate them for coming through, bro. That was good.
Most definitely.
Cool.
Most definitely. Shout out to them, man. My uncle tuned in too, man. My uncle had his he was like, man, that was a good one. That was a dope one, man. I like that one, so it's very appreciated for that interview, man. Thank them, bro.
Love the
I know that's
feedback.
dope for y'all, cause y'all actually from Compton, so
Yeah.
to hear the feedback from that is crazy. You
Yeah,
feel
that
me?
Yeah, for sure, man. But we got a dope guest up in here. 804 Icer, bro. This dude is a aspiring.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
Icer on all platforms. Writer, music personality, clothing designer,
Nutritionist,
personal
trainer. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
Let
man.
your list go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come on,
let
man.
your list
Come
grow,
on,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build on that every day. That's the whole
Straight
thing.
up.
Trying to accomplish the most stuff before we leave off Earth.
Say that.
Sure.
Make
Say
Say that.
history, give your kids something to be proud of.
Straight up, man.
Look.
That's dope, man. 16 months home, man. Congratulations to you, too, bro.
Congratulations to you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, them cats that be fresh home be
They be
straight
on
to it.
They be on it.
Right ones, you catch the right one, they be right to it. Whole
Yeah.
different
I
mind
saw
frame.
something on Instagram, I think last week. Dude said he think everybody that do more than 10 years is in the Illuminati.
Oh yeah, I see it. Like, yeah, cause they get right home and get right to it. Like they
Yeah.
be house, car, everything.
Yeah.
Like, you
Man,
just got to be
second.
serious. Like
Yeah.
you already behind. Even before you went to prison, you was behind
Yeah.
in life. You feel me? Just being from certain areas, like the adverse situations you're gonna be born into. So you ain't got no time to play.
Yeah. Straight up.
Never had time to play, but you was playing.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So now you gotta just be more serious and handle business.
Most definitely. Talk to me about a little bit about your upbringing, bro. Where you from? And what was
Eastside,
it like?
California, man. 76 in Avalon, 85th in Maine. Them the addresses I didn't had over there. So that's in the Swans. You feel me? So it's I don't like to say I had a hard life because that's like for people that's outside looking in just because I know
Yeah.
people had a harder life than me. So
Facts.
Yeah.
I say the
never
same
looked at
thing.
my life
Man.
was hard.
Right.
Man.
That's
Yeah.
all I knew. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I can't really make no complaints. I know who my daddy was. A lot of people can't even say that. You feel me?
Right.
I had a good
Yeah.
daddy. My mama was there. I knew right from wrong, but the environment. I made certain choices that I got to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I ain't gonna give y'all the sad story. Oh,
Yeah.
Nah,
mama was
hell
on
no.
crack. my
Cause
daddy
it,
Right,
was
right.
on pill.
it's really no slums in
Yeah.
like California.
Right,
like
right,
it's
right.
like you got the projects and all that. But if you like the hoods in California it's nice areas if you
It's
really
nice.
want to like look at them.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the far as like I don't want to say the looks of it because I done been in the cell with people when I was in prison. I had a cellie from Lime Park, and I had showed him some pictures of somebody projects. He was like, "That's their projects." Like, man, that shit look clean. I explained to him, it's not
Yeah.
about how it look. It's about what's going on. Like
What's going
Ain't
on?
nothing
that.
around it though.
Right,
it's
like,
like
right.
Compton, like in the West Side, that's like one of the
Man.
prettiest areas
Yeah.
in Compton.
Yeah.
But growing up, that was always one of the most violent areas. You feel me?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
looks can be deceiving.
Yeah.
Right,
What
right.
I heard somebody say on I think on Twitter, they was like the East Coast look rugged. California, the people are rugged. Like it ain't with their atmosphere. They are the rugged
Yeah.
people. Like you feel me? Like
I can
But I
see
think
that.
too,
I
it's
can see that.
like the living conditions, because if you like a lot of people that I met from like suburbs or different type of areas, not even people that's in the streets, but just
Yeah.
regular life living, you gonna be like in different situations. Like you might be shooting dice at 10 years old, you ain't in no gang
Yeah.
or nothing, or
Yeah,
Western,
yeah.
just you
Yeah.
living over here and this is what's going on. People
Right,
selling
right.
drugs,
Yeah.
hustling. More than somebody that got to actually be a kid, or so
Yeah.
I think that's the ruggedness that they
Mhm.
talking about, because you could be in a gang and be nice as hell. Like,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
real. Like
That's
not,
true. Really
not
a good
saying
person.
like that's
I know
bad, not
softly,
saying like
but
a
he
bad
nice.
or what's-
You're a
but
good
nice
nigga.
person.
You feel
Right,
me?
right,
person.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
Look
not
out,
rugged
you
or
do
nothing,
the-
like, you feel me?
You was
Yeah.
raised right and all that. You
Right.
feel me?
Exactly.
And you could just be controlled like
Yeah.
by your environment. Your
Right.
environment could just have a big influence on
That's
you.
crazy because out here, nigga
Sure.
get called nice, nigga feel offended. You like,
Yeah.
like, no, not like that.
Right, right. So what was it like really like growing up on the East Side, man? Because I heard stories about just going. I worked on like 83rd and San Pedro at that like a little church right there.
Oh, yeah, I knew you
I
talking
used-
right on the corner.
right there on the corner. I worked there, so I was my introduction to the East Side. So I knew it was kind of it was some stuff going on. I want
Yeah.
to know how was it growing up in that area.
I mean, as a kid, you gonna fight, but like you don't know that you in a different environment until you go outside your environment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My first time really leaving outside of LA, like leaving outside like that, was like when I was like 14. So I didn't know until, and that was like Gardena. And that's not that far,
That's
but
not
like
far at all.
when you from LA, you think anything, if it ain't like South Central Compton and Watts, is considered like the Valley. You just put
Right.
it in the category like the Valley. So I'm like, Gardena, like, man, that's the Valley. Like, you feel me? But they got streets and gangs and all that type of stuff everywhere. But that was my first time seeing like, damn, I live different. That's how I found out the
Yeah.
term Eastie. Like,
Yeah.
Eastie, like, what is this? If they be calling us when we ain't around, Eastie. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I got
for
to
sure,
start
for
seeing this, the difference in
Right.
like everything from how people dress, just everything, bro.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, growing up, it's like, far as like fighting and stuff like that, you gonna have to do that. Young, going
Mhm.
outside, like that's like the beginning. You gonna have to fight.
Yeah.
You gonna have to fight. So
Yeah.
youngest age, that's gonna be the message you get from your mama before you go outside, because you gonna
Yeah.
have to fight. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be like the beginning to see if you can even play outside and be running around playing tag with the other kids.
Yeah.
What's the name? So yeah, but that's it become normal, because
Yeah.
growing up, everybody gonna have to do
Yeah, straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Going
saying?
on because you start off fighting your friends.
Right.
Yeah. And when
Yeah,
you in it, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you don't really notice, like you don't think like this shit ain't normal
Mhm.
to how we is living or what we think is cool. You know, that's why I always say, nigga, I'm from out the fruits, homie. But I don't glorify that lifestyle. Nigga,
Right.
older now, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, we are who we are.
Sir.
So let me ask you this though. Coming up, going to school and everything, was you involved in sports? You talked about moms and dad at home
Yeah,
or whatnot.
I was good at sports. I played basketball, football, baseball. I just I gravitated away from sports with the gang, the street shit. But that was like my first love. I say that was my first love before gangbang, because once I started doing it, I fell in love with it
Mhm.
when I was doing that. But my
Yeah.
first love was sports.
Yeah.
I was one of them
So
like outside running around playing in the street, sideline pop, knew who got the record for most rushing yards, who got the most catches in the game. Like that's what it was, sports. But everybody, that was the difference. When I was a kid, everybody played sports.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just what it was.
Yeah,
Everybody wanted
exactly.
to be good. Everybody played sports.
Exactly.
Like you had to.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't no other way around it.
Yeah,
You had to go
yeah.
play, go to the park and sign up for that recreation. You go
Straight
play.
up.
Like,
Right.
every
Or
time.
you outside in the neighborhood playing sideline pop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's
Niggas
how I
get
started
better
playing.
like that. Real
Somebody
tough.
seen me playing sideline pop and told my mama, like, man, y'all should sign him up for football.
Mm-hmm.
He signed me up for football.
Straight up. So was your parents ever trying to withdraw you from the gangs? I know it had to be a time where they start seeing it.
Nah, most definitely. For a long time, like you can, when you got a lot of brothers and sisters and you got a mom in the house by herself,
Yeah.
like it's a lot of stuff can go on and they not gonna be able to pay attention to, because they only got two eyes,
Mhm.
so they can't watch everything.
Right.
So it's kind of like that's the battle, like with the environment. So you can be
Mhm.
showing your kids
The right
X,
way.
Y, and Z, but every time they go outside, this is what's gonna be going on. So if they attracted to that type of lifestyle. I never was attracted to gangbanging. I'm not gonna lie. I got a large family. Like
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
gang, I never like was one of them kids because I got like cousins that grew up and they was like, I'm talking about from when we was
Yeah,
5.
throwing it up and everything
Listen,
ready.
I
Yeah.
never
yeah.
was one of them
And
kids.
that's what you
Yeah.
seen though.
Yeah, but I
growing up.
never was one of them kids.
Yeah.
So you was the odd one out then.
Yeah, but I was more like it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For real. Like it didn't. I didn't understand it, so I wasn't trying to understand it or
Because
nothing.
you wasn't trying to be the
Yeah, I wasn't
majority.
trying to,
You know,
like,
that's the majority out here. Somebody that
Yeah.
don't bang in in LA County is kind of looked at, not looked at
Right.
funny. It was like, oh, you don't? Like, oh, okay. like, you feel what I mean? Like,
Now I don't look at it funny because like when I was a kid, everybody gangbang. Like if it was
Yeah.
kids on the street and it was like 50 kids that live on the street, it's probably gonna be like 40 of them that gangbang.
that's a fact.
Feel me?
Right,
So
That's a
right,
fact.
now it's
right.
like kids is smarter because they see like you want to do that. Like that. To me, that's what it look like. I don't know if the
Yeah, yeah.
population, the demographic switched up, but it seemed like kids are getting smarter and they see like that ain't really
Yeah,
it. So
it seems
now
like the kids that's doing it now is like, damn, it's like,
Right.
was you destined for that shit? Because they
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like extra
Yeah.
out. Or,
Well, I think a part of that too, not to cut you off, my
and we don't
bad.
live in the
Yeah.
I think a part of that too. I think I'm not a numbers type of dude as far as that. I don't know, but I think that I'm seeing more active fathers now than it was when
I agree
I was
with that.
younger too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
yeah, I'm not no numbers guy, but I could say that I have seen because I like to congratulate people when I
Yeah.
see stuff like that. And I remember one time I was driving down the street and I saw a dude. I ain't saw this probably since I was a kid. He had like 3 or 4 kids, but they all had on sweatsuits, the same sweatsuits, same shoes.
Mhm.
And I'm like, man, I just stopped the car. Like, man, I salute you, bro, because you don't really see that a lot.
Yeah.
And
Right.
now that I think about it, you say that I have been like seeing
Yeah.
more people
Think
with their
so.
kids.
When,
We
when
can
I
pull
drop the
that
kids
up,
off,
Solomon.
when you drop the kids off at school, you see all the pops.
Yeah,
on
like
everything.
I
Like,
see it
numbers,
often.
man. Pull
I
the-
see,
pull
yeah,
the
pull that
stats
up
up.
for me, Solomon, if you can.
What are
man.
we pulling at?
Just the what the numbers as far as active fathers
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
the time frame from now and maybe
That's an
what
active
like
father right there, man.
80s or 90s.
Shout out Coach Onion.
Shout
He
out
been
Coach
working at
Onion.
Fremont for more than 30 years, bro. I don't want to put no exact number, but I know he was working there when I was going there and before I was going there.
Mhm.
But he also used to coach for Enterprise.
Okay.
He a staple in the community. So
That's what's
you
up,
guys,
man.
somebody's want to salute
Shout
Coach
out to
Onion. What's
him.
happening?
Shout out to him,
Shout out to
man.
Coach
Coach
Haynes.
Onion, man.
Okay.
That's what's
So,
up.
so you still, you know what I'm saying, you're a community, you involved in the community
Heavily.
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 What that mean to you, bro?
I had a job working where I grew up, and that shit used to feel so good just to like see people and they
Yeah.
see me at work. Like, what you, man, it's my job. Right?
Yeah.
Man, they see me like, because I was doing patient care. So I was like helping take care of people that's like mentally impaired and stuff like that. So it used to feel good. But just seeing kids and being able to give them good advice, bro, like
Yeah.
something like that, it mean a lot. Cause somebody,
up.
they don't got people to tell them nothing
Straight
positive
up.
in their life.
No, they
Straight
don't.
up.
Nobody, not one person.
up.
So you could tell somebody something and it'll go a long way.
Straight
Yeah.
up. Straight up, man. Hey, you ain't lying. And then shout out to my family too, man. I gotta
Shout out
shout
to
them out, not to cut
Shout
you
out
off.
to the
to the
fam.
family.
Shout out to the fam.
Shout out to them, man. Family reunion yesterday was going up. All my family, man. I love y'all. I would call names, bro, but you know
It's
what
a
I'm
lot
saying?
of them.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
want
a
to
lot of
that
them,
lead
bro.
nobody out.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lot of
So,
them,
you know,
man.
y'all know who y'all is, though. Appreciate y'all. But I was talking to my partner, man, and he was just like, man, I had a great time, bro. You know, like it was love. I said, hell yeah, you know, everybody, you know, you come out, it's gonna be love, bro, because at the end of the day, you never know what somebody else going home to. What they going
Mhm.
back home to. You feel me?
Right.
So niggas gonna be love, have fun, get you a plate, get you some drink in your system, some little reefer going, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lolo's out, we
Yeah.
gonna have fun. You
Right.
feel me?
Right.
But yeah, man. But want to get back to your story.
Sir.
When was your first encounter? I know you said you been in and out of the walls, right?
My first encounter in 2000, I was 12. I went to jail in 2000. My first time going to jail.
With the YA.
Nah, I went
He
just
said-
juvenile hall.
I
I
did.
went to YA too, not then though.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, but yeah, that was
What-
my first time going to jail.
During that time, that's when you started getting involved with gangs, or you were just
Nah,
getting-
it's crazy. But even that, my first time ever going to jail, I went to jail for a gang fight and I wasn't even in the gang for getting pressed by somebody because I always walked home from school with the people that
You live like
Yeah.
yeah,
I
you
live
know your
by it.
people.
and went to elementary with my elementary school in the same area I grew up in. So
Yeah.
these are people I'm walking home from school with, and somebody ain't never been scared to fight. You could, my mama wasn't even gonna let that happen.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
dude was trying to press me, thinking I'm some part of something I'm not even a part of. So I ain't back down from the fight, but I end up going to jail. So after that, I'm not gonna lie, that made me like,
Turn your savage up a little.
yeah, like
Yep.
basically not like y'all, just based on
Yeah.
y'all basically involved me and I ain't even involved. So then
Now I'm finna get involved. Man. I'm finna get
Yeah.
on you niggas.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's how it go though. Then you go into juvenile hall, then you see it's like, man, I can do this.
right.
It'll be,
not even that though. I just posted something on my story. It was from another podcast. I saw it and it was talking about how black culture glorified bullshit. And just to
Oh, yeah.
feed off that, when I was a kid, at that age, I looked at juvenile hall as something to like a accomplishment. Not in that because I was low key getting away until I got about 15. I was always getting away with stuff. But all my friends was going to juvenile hall. They getting out with stories, fight stories, and all this type of shit. And the older people that we looked up to was like, that's
one of the places you gotta go.
Like,
Yeah.
man, that's when I get my opportunity. That's my.
Mhm.
But in reality, that's like a fucked up goal.
Putting yourself in the
It's
system.
not normal.
Right,
Not
right,
normal.
right.
Not normal.
And you realize that as you get older.
Yeah, older.
You get wiser, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, damn, that shit ain't normal what niggas used to think.
Yeah.
Nigga, it was a point in time niggas used to think that was a nigga destiny, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
yeah,
gonna hit that.
Yeah.
Like,
nigga
I'm
gonna hit jail and
hit
nigga
that
gonna-
yard.
You know what I'm
Yard,
saying?
yeah.
Real.
But
That's a crazy way, but that's how the older cats will you wouldn't make it on the yard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would.
exactly.
Like,
And that's fucked up to
Right.
influence a nigga
Yeah.
like that. You
Yeah.
know
Like
what I'm
that,
saying?
like that's their introduction to
Yeah.
manhood.
Yeah.
Gotta go through
Yeah.
that.
You gotta go to gladiator school.
Yeah.
That's
Gladiator.
crazy.
But
Yeah.
they probably didn't know no better. Like
They didn't.
a lot of times,
Exactly.
looking at it like they probably was taught worse than us.
Yeah.
bro.
Right.
So they
Straight
didn't
up.
know better. So
That
Straight
gang
up.
shit was made by kids, so you think it's all irrational thinking,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It ain't nobody telling nobody nothing civilized. It's all let's go. Like
Right.
yep. There ain't nobody saying stop.
Straight up.
Feel me? To this day. You feel me? Think about it. Think about we all in the same age bracket of an older nigga telling you not to do something. Nigga be like, nigga, fuck you. Like, nigga.
that's why I pick and choose because, like, my conscience, when I see somebody doing something and I know I can tell them better, I
Yeah.
gotta tell you because that's my conscience.
That's the righteousness
I
in
mean, that's
you.
coming from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I know how my reaction was, and I can like see it in their eyes. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
And them the ones I don't say nothing to because you kind of gotta find out for yourself.
you
I was
have
one of the ones I had to find out for myself,
Mhm.
and just to not have no altercation or be not seeing eye to eye with somebody. I'd rather just he one of the ones that gotta find out for himself because that's how I was.
Mhm.
You couldn't tell me nothing when I got to that stage. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing, bro. I
Mhm.
just was gonna crash,
Yeah, that's how.
burn,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
This is what I know right now,
Right,
and this is
right.
what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. And that's true, bro. I agree with that, man. I agree with that for the simple fact we see a lot. Shout out to the homies, man. The fruits and the trees, man. Bringing that thing together on some peace tree stuff.
That was
big for the
dope.
city,
That was
for real,
dope.
for real. But it's a lot of people that's doing the peace tree, and I commend that a lot. And there's also a lot of people that feel like we got a lot more problems internally within the hood. You feel me?
Mhm.
But you spoke on picking and choosing. Are these the dudes? Are you with the peace treating? And
me
are
personally,
these the dudes that you would try to shift mind? The ones that's around our age? Because them the ones that kind of seen
Mm-hmm.
the downfalls of the homie right here by the other side.
yeah.
So what's your take on that, bro?
Me personally, you can't never knock nobody for searching for peace. Nobody, whoever they is, whatever they can't knock nobody for searching for peace. Now with the gang shit, I don't promote gang peace. I'm not against nobody searching for peace, like I said, but I'd rather work with the kids and do the gang diversion to keep kids away from the streets. Because it's only two things that's gonna happen when you involved in that type of lifestyle. So just be got a peace with these two gangs. What else is going on in your life? Because just because the gang banging ain't the only thing. There's other elements in the streets for us when you out here trying to get money and doing all these other kind of things that's could be directed to something else. Because it's a lot of good stuff that I learned in being involved in gangs. Like the same dedication and passion that people be having, you could take that shit and pursue anything that you want. If you got enough heart to go walk in a tank with 30 people that you know is gonna try to stab you or probably not gonna give you a head up fight, but you got enough heart to go in there because you care about your community so much. I don't want it to look bad. You could take that same passion and have something good happen for you because ain't nothing good finna happen up in that tank, but you would still do it. out of the love and passion that you got. So if you just take that type of energy and put it somewhere else with kids, that gang piece shit, just for me, I'd rather be working with the kids because they got more uh career left. That's just like a rapper. If somebody in their 30s, I'd rather sign the person in his 20s. I'm probably gonna make more money off him. Now I don't mean the dude in the 30s can't perform or still has some some quality to his music or whatever the case may be, but I'm gonna get more out of these kids. They literally the future, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They
So
always
that's
gonna be
my
the
Right,
thing. I'd rather,
right, right.
That
focus
is
on
true
I
though,
agree
because
with that.
if you got us our age people piecing, that's cool. You already living your life. But what about still the young
Younger
cats out
dude.
there?
Yeah.
Like you say, you got to divert them till they get to that point where they ain't trying to hear nothing.
But one thing too though, it's this apply to all kind of elements of life. It's more followers than leaders. And that's just in general. It's not a bad thing to be a follower because a lot of people like give a negative connotation to being a follower.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a follower if you following the right leadership. So the majority of people is gonna follow whatever is going on, whether it's good or bad. So when it be stuff like that, peace ain't a bad thing. So a lot of them people that's gonna follow in what people was doing, and they ain't something bad to follow. Staying alive and staying out of jail ain't something bad to follow.
Yeah,
Right.
For
that's
sure.
the best feeling. I'm telling you, because life hard, but it's cracking.
Yeah.
It's cracking.
For
Life
sure,
cracking.
man.
Like, it's fun as a motherfucker. You feel me?
Right.
Do all the
Nah,
bullshit.
for sure.
I'd rather be out here than ever being
I
in
had
jail.
to I had to go fight a violation for 45 days and I beat my violation. But in that 45 days, you gotta think I went from being out of jail for like however long I was out of jail and going back to that and the whole just everything, it was a different experience for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
I thought I was never going back to there
Mm.
in jail for something I didn't do, even though I ended up beating, I still had to beat
In jail.
In
for
there
that
for
45
45
days.
Then you got a taste of home though, and getting in
Exactly.
your
But
groove.
that's one thing about it. Like when you really living life, like you know how the people use the term savage. Like I was a savage when I was young, so I ain't never been with nowhere. Ain't never did nothing. Don't got too much life experience.
Yeah.
So that ain't really too much difference from jail. So a lot of people would be comfortable in them situations because they ain't live life. But once you start living life
Oh,
and
yeah,
been
you
some
gotta-
places in West, or even just had some different type of food, bro. Like you ain't gonna be quick to just put yourself in a situation to go back to jail, bro.
That's a
That's
fact.
not
That's a
living.
fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Not
right.
living.
Fact.
And
That's a
then-
fact. I like how you
Yeah,
put
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I love how you put
Yeah,
that,
that's
man.
dope.
Like I ain't really been nowhere, so it at first it didn't mean nothing, but
Yeah.
when I got the taste of the world, it was like, nah, I
Yeah,
cannot
like,
do
you
this.
don't know, like,
I cannot do
this ain't
this.
it
Right.
here.
Yeah.
It's not it. So a lot of people but that's the whole key to like being in the ghetto. Like your experience now, I think that's another thing that the young motherfuckers is catching on to too, because they get to see stuff, even though it's only on the internet. Like you gotta think, we don't even got no pork in our hood, like where I'm from.
Yeah.
So like your surroundings and stuff you gonna see is so limited. Like dreaming is like a stretch, bro. Cause it's like, how could you dream about some shit that you ain't really like?
Yeah.
Never even
Can't-
seen.
You ain't
Right, you
seen
can't
nothing
Seeing
outside of
shit on the internet to them
Right.
kids is like, to me, I don't know. It feel like that shit is like I could be anything I
Yeah.
want to. Like, and that's why you see kids out here, man. You never would have had people trying to attempt to even do the stuff that they doing now because we wasn't exposed.
You couldn't
to
even
them
fathom
shit.
it. Yeah.
Right. Cause
Straight up.
I remember working over there on the east side too, man. And I noticed that it's no park. Ain't not a lot of parks over
No,
there.
only park
So-
is Washington Park and Real Rogers Park.
Yeah, so it's like, what else is for the kids to really get into? Really, if their neighborhood is right there, and they go every time they go outside, they can't go to the park, go hoop or nothing like
Yeah,
that. So it's
exactly.
like, it's kind of tough, man. It's a tough environment to even wiggle through, not to even get involved in
Yeah.
gangs. Like,
That's what my family from the east side, from Watts all the way down. You feel me?
yeah,
So it ain't nothing.
Nothing
It's
over there,
nothing
man.
but some little food, Tams.
Yeah.
You feel me? And
It's
the
a tough
streets.
environment,
It
yeah.
ain't really much. Like
Facts.
the only parks, they game parks, and certain people he couldn't go
You
to the
can't go
parks.
to different
He
parks,
can't go to
right?
the parks
Exactly.
where he from, because where he
Exactly.
representing. So
Right.
he had it was like he said, he only had his block.
Mhm.
Even like if you can keep your kids active, because being in jail you reflect a lot. So I always be trying to think like I had all the tools to go right, how I go wrong. So I'm like reflecting, looking at stuff, and like the track was like the most expensive thing to play when I was growing up. That's the only thing we really couldn't afford. Like the rest of the stuff I kind of got to play for free because I was good, but like track, they ain't really care about how good you was, and I wasn't that fast as the other kids, but you was gonna have to pay.
Yeah.
If you can keep your kids busy,
Mm-hmm.
it'll do a lot in them type of environments. But that one little small little window,
Yeah.
you can go outside and have a one event and alter your life.
Alter your whole
Yeah,
life.
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
man.
Straight up, man.
Make you change, yeah.
How many years of your life you gave to the system, bro?
I ain't never added it up like that, but I just did 15 years. I
Damn.
did 3 years before that.
That's all pen right there.
I did 3 years in YA, like when I was from 16 to 19. Then I did 15 years from 19 to 34. No, 19 to 35. 19 to 35. Then I did like some camp
Damn.
programs and stuff when I was young.
So you missed your whole 20s, bro.
I say that in one of my songs.
Yeah.
Spent all my 20s on a level 4. So I'm gonna spend my 30s doing 20s at a stripper pole.
That's hard.
I ain't mad at that. I am not mad at that.
That's hard,
Man.
man.
And
Hey,
so you really
I know
just-
the
I
white
gotta-
is way different.
I gotta ask you this, bruh. Because like you said, you know what I'm saying, you go in, you already like, you know what I'm saying, you behind, right? You go in them walls. For a nigga that have been free his whole 20s, his whole life or whatnot, bro, you come out with this mindset at 35. What mind state is that? It's crazy because you own all this stuff and you own business stuff and you trying to grow. But do you be feeling that 20s type of like, you know what I'm saying? Like you trying to hang with the young dudes or trying to keep up with them?
Nah, but it's a balance that you gotta have, because one thing I do, I fuck with the youth, because it be a lot of division like with the old and young. You had these young people do this or these old people do this, but they don't never highlight the good stuff. You can learn a lot of stuff hanging with young people. They fast, bro. They fast. Like young, it's a lot of stuff going on. So what I don't do, I really don't hang with nobody if it's not beneficial in the sense of we helping each other. Like I can assist you in some type of way, or you can assist me in some type of way. So to answer that question, like, yeah, if we ain't got, if you just young and I'm just hanging around, you just to feel the young energy, nah, we ain't got no, because I don't really hang out with people. I'm not gonna lie, I got one person that's my friend. Besides my family, I be in the house, bro. I go to the gym. I go like handle I be in the house.
That's that type
Right,
of you.
right.
Well, we were on that age though, because
Yeah.
I'm on the same thing too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really trying to hang out. You feel me? I
Nah,
ain't nothing wrong with hanging out,
You'll
but
pop
like right
out.
now, I'll
Pop
pop
every
out.
once
But
in a while.
I'm cooling. Like, I cool
Yeah, it's
out.
crazy because it seems like you just really now getting a chance to live, like
Yeah,
to live your
I
life,
am,
bro. Because
I
if
am.
you've been gone for so long, you know, in prison, and you first just now getting out, like in your 30s, bro, that you were able to getting your first shot at life, bro. That's crazy.
Right? You just like a fresh book, wide
Yeah.
open, like
Right.
eyes wide.
Advantage though,
Yeah.
you gotta like even the challenges. I embrace that because it's a challenge I ain't had to face. Like it's a different challenge. It's always gonna be challenge. Ain't nobody like
Yeah.
even a billionaire. He probably stressed out.
Tell
I gotta
you.
pay 500 million over
Go
here.
get your
Nobody-
passport. Your
I keep making excuses, right? I just got off parole.
Yeah.
I keep making excuses every
get
time
your
I make
passport.
some money. I keep making. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do
Go
it.
get your passport. Get out
man.
there. I'm telling you, you
Yeah,
gonna love
bro.
life. You feel me? Jay?
Yeah, that's what's
I'm
up.
going Hollywood. Once I leave out the country and come back, I'm going Hollywood.
Yo, you sound like me.
Like a
Some-
gang of people, I'm gonna start talking
Certain people
Right.
need to talk to me.
change my life, man.
So you haven't been able to travel out the state yet, huh?
Nah, I just got off parole in April. I got a show on the 31st in New York, so that's gonna be my first time.
Okay.
So
that's
that's
Yeah.
what's up,
Oh, you diving deep
Yeah,
in
you
there.
going in
That's
there.
what's
What's
up,
up, bro?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
trip.
Hey, do
This
you-
is the first time on your plane?
Hey, son, yeah, it's first time
Yeah.
on the plane, everything.
You go
That's
if you,
cool.
once you like it, you gonna be wanting to fly all the time. Like,
Yeah.
hey, nothing but a flight.
Yeah.
Everything.
To get
Gonna be
anywhere,
coast
bro.
to coast for real, bro.
Yeah, man. That's what's up,
That's the
man.
thing. I just want to. Everything is the experience and opportunity, bro. So that's your whole life is just a gang of experiences
Yeah.
bunching together. So I be
Say that.
embracing that shit,
Say that.
sir.
You got you a father. Shout out to you. You a father.
Mhm.
Boy and a girl. How old is your children, man?
My son gonna be a month on the 30th, and my daughter will be a month on the 6th of September. They
Okay.
like 6 days apart.
6 days
Six
apart.
days
6 days apart.
Oh, you came
Got
out
to
right
it.
to it,
He
huh?
got
busy.
to
7
it.
days apart, like a week apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You came home and said, I need him.
I was man.
It really, it really happened. That's a blessing though.
No,
Like,
blessing,
yeah,
blessing.
I always wanted to have
Hell
a lot
yeah.
as many kids as
And
possible.
then your mind state, not to cut you off, King, but your mind state, bro, where you at, how you like on the traveling thing and
Yeah.
everything, you giving that to your kids. You ain't seen outside of the city till you was what, 14, you say?
Yeah.
So come on, bro. You giving all this game to
Right.
your children.
Think about
bro,
the
so
new
it's
life,
can't
new
matter.
life, and new a person you can just yeah.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Sure,
saying?
and I be tripping me out every day, like because me and my other baby mama, we still together. So I wake up and get to see my daughter every day, get to
Yeah.
touch her, see her every day. But it's the same thing when I see my son too. It be just like, man, like that's the whole
Yeah.
life. Like
That's little you.
man, yeah. So
That's what's up,
That's
man.
smooth,
definitely
man.
crazy.
That's smooth. So what's your plans for your children, bro?
man, I'm trying to be rich before they even
Figure it out,
yeah,
huh?
before they can even figure it out. But just basically to take care of them, be there for them, support them, and don't never. I'm not missing nothing, bro. I don't want to have no excuse for nothing. I'll never come with no excuses. So I
Yeah.
just want to be there to
Say
as
that.
much as I can be there. The same feeling, because I had a real daddy. I always say that every time I get a chance to. I always say that. I always talk about my daddy, bro.
Shout out to your
As
daddy.
you should. I like
He-
shit
he
like
ain't-
that.
He ain't here no more, but
Rest in peace.
I had a
Rest
real
in
daddy.
peace.
So I want everything my daddy showed me. I want to be able to show that to my kids and give them the same how I feel about him. I want them to feel like way about me. So
Say that. Say that.
Yeah.
Y'all
What?
got-
Yeah, if your son like get to that certain age, bro, what would you tell him if he wanted to go walk in the footsteps of his
Yeah.
father? What would you kind of?
I show him all the goofy shit because people don't show the goofy shit. Like people talk about the streets and when they glorify the shit, even when people rap, somebody you can listen to my music and if you ain't a person, because the missus might not come into the last bar,
Yeah.
but they talk about all the goofy shit and glorify the goofy shit, but they don't talk about none of the embarrassing shit and the real shit. How your homies gonna be the main ones.
That's your
Fighting
enemy.
to- yeah.
That's really your enemy, yeah.
Western name. This is what jail turned into. Jail turned into vultures. Everybody feeding on their own homies. You feel me? They already gonna turn their back, but if you somebody that's strong minded, you're not even gonna be thinking about that. I wasn't in it for them anyway. The squat and cough. Go to jail shit is embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, grading you and shit.
No man, anybody that go to jail, that should be like the deal breaker right there. That should be your sign of I ain't never going back to jail. They just made me. I had to get naked and squat and cough. I had to do that. But just explain it. It's more all. It's a long list of goofy shit that goes on in the streets and
Straight up.
and what comes with it. But you got to explain that to them because people don't never tell both sides. They only tell the good shit or the shit that they think is good that be short lived. Feel me? Because I started getting in the streets real young, and I'm trying to build my life and repair my life right now. My youngest brother ain't never been in the streets. He owned 3 businesses, college degree, and living real good. So you could take that slow route and
win,
Yeah.
and really win.
or you can have some high school fame in Western Name and end up getting life or getting killed or something like that. But just
Right.
explaining it to him, like explaining it, because a lot of this shit goofy, bro. We grew up and we didn't know no better, so we doing certain this shit. A lot of this shit is goofy, bro.
Straight up.
But that's off the fact because we didn't see no better. We didn't see
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
We
exactly.
didn't have nothing. Most of the people just seen that's what the cars and all that. You be like, oh, that gotta be me too. Like you feel me?
Even that, like listening to people, like a lot of people. I found myself like growing up. A lot of the people who I looked at like highly was bums, right? But it took me a long time. But this is what I wanted to be. I wanted
Yeah,
to be
yeah, 'cause
this,
you didn't
but
know
then
no
when I
better, I'm
learned
telling
and
you.
got
Yeah.
over like these is people that don't really have no accomplishments to their life.
Niggas 21 at the high school with you and all that.
That's what I'm saying. So you always want better for yourself, bro. Like you don't never want to be. It's about, like I said, I was always fascinated with history growing up. So making history is being better than what came before you. You know what came before you. You got to be better than that.
Yeah.
Sure,
Try
for
to be
sure,
better than that.
Straight up.
For sure,
Straight up.
man.
That's a fact.
Man, I was listening to one of your songs, bro, and you said something to the fact, like, you know, I guess one of your homies got killed, right? And that was one of the people that you had courted on,
Yeah.
and you got to look at his kid. Like, how can you explain that to his kid that you introduced him to this lifestyle? Kind of like, bro, I want you to kind of like touch on that, bro, if you can.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Bro, I was thinking about
That's
that.
Joey for you.
That motherfucker fall, man.
It's all good, bro.
Motherfucker go, bro.
Nah, my homie,
It's all good, man.
Chops. Like that shit just it's real life though. Like nigga, like you responsible people life, bro. Like you bring somebody in this shit and they lose their life. Like you feel me? That's some cold shit. And they got kids, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's just some cold it's reality though, but it's just some cold shit that I don't know. I don't even know how I thought of that one day. I especially didn't think you didn't say nothing about it, but I
No,
just
I
was
was listening to. Because I be listening to your music, bro. You know, before
Yeah, I
the
told
intro
because I
getting
was
ready,
in the
bro.
chat like, nah, he can rap. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I was
You know
like, he can
your
rap.
shit.
Like,
I don't mean to spring
Didn't
that
have
on
me
you too,
crying
bro.
on TV, bro. Yeah.
Nah, man, but
Yeah,
that was some deep shit, man. I
Yeah.
just wanted to know your take on that, man.
Nah, but yes, and I ain't gonna lie, I gotta come correct, bro, because all these people, it ain't my homie Tiny A, that's somebody that was close to me that passed too. I still call his mama, like you feel me? But it's like, I don't know, bro. It's different now because the gentrification and a lot of these people don't really know these people that
Yeah.
they be like associated with it and hang
Yeah.
around with. They be coming from like all these different. When we really grew up with people in West Night, that shit hurt, bro. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's why I be saying, because the stubbornness of a gangbanger, I be like, nigga, fuck peace, fuck all that type of shit, West Night. But bro, who wanna keep homies keep getting killed, bro, and
Yeah.
keep questioning. But it take a lot of people, cause nigga, that's to let some shit slide or pass or overlook that shit, nigga. That's some shit I ain't even can say I'm ready for. Like to be just
Right.
hands
Nah,
open
for
towards
sure, for
somebody
sure.
that
Yeah.
did me.
yeah, nobody can
just-
tell you how to
feel me? Yeah, so
control your pain.
yeah, but that's like some nigga. That's why I applaud that shit, cause everybody can't do that. You feel me? People could talk about it and say, "Oh, them niggas suckers," cause they promoting peace or whatever.
Yeah.
You feel me? But that's the easy shit to do, standing there
Yeah.
criticizing
Right.
motherfuckers and shit like that.
Right. I had an older homie hit me up about that episode too. He was like, "Man, I like what y'all doing, and I wish I could be a part of that movement, like for peace." But he said, "I'm not there yet." Like he like probably my pop's age, but he like, bro, I'm just not there because of all the losses that he didn't took, bro. So I mean, it's understandable.
You
Like
gotta
everybody,
respect that.
You gotta respect
yeah,
it. You
gotta
feel me?
respect that.
If it ain't for you, just not like I'm like stay away. Just like you know what I mean. You
Yeah.
don't got to be around that.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Most
But
definitely.
everybody, I feel like with the peace, every movement everybody's trying to get with, it's for the kids. Let these kids have
Give
a
them a
better
chance.
chance than we ever had a chance. You feel me?
right.
Yeah. It's bigger than us.
There's no way. You feel me? This is California, man.
Facts.
Then in LA is so segregated. Like I learned that from being around different people going in prison. Like
Mhm.
not only like with the gang shit, but even racially, it's so segregated.
Mhm.
That take away a lot out of life experience just based on
Yeah.
networking and just having life experience, bro. Experiencing different cultures and
Yeah,
stuff like that. But LA is way more like divided than like Northern California and
Oh,
shit
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. They
yeah.
got
Oh,
more
yeah.
like they got a culture.
They
that's like
entwined.
city
Mhm.
culture.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
they're
You run into
entwined.
somebody from Sacramento, like it don't matter if they white, black,
Yeah.
Latino, they probably gonna all have the same style,
Right.
talk, swag.
Mhm.
Like they all, it's more like LA is more so if we could like, that's what I envision when I think about peace is like everybody coming together like in that type of way. But
It seems like the younger Hispanics is on that, like the blacks and Hispanics. Seem like it's getting a little more like cool, but like you said, our shit was like
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was
It was
thick in the
haywire.
air.
It was
It was
haywire.
thick. It was
Right.
like,
It
you
was
feel me?
haywire. It was haywire.
It's
But-
crazy. Some of the coolest people I ever met was Mexican. Like, you feel me?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yes, Mexican people took me in.
Grew up around Mexicans,
Yeah.
Right,
man.
right.
See, I didn't really have the racial experience. That was like some jail shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Me,
yeah.
because
I would say, well,
growing
your
up as
area,
a
y'all
kid,
intertwined with them
like
Mexicans.
yeah, like a lot of my homies. If you look at my brother-in-law funeral, you got like I think 3 of my homies that's Mexican was his pallbearer. Like
Yeah.
we got so run like the racial shit was like jail. Like they be tripping. Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't really had that experience like growing up.
Yeah.
Like you feel me? But that shit carry because that
Yeah.
shit changed my whole life too. Coming,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
racial tension,
Right.
that shit change your
Yeah,
like,
because in
life
LA, it
out.
ain't really like that. Certain hoods, but in LA, like especially
Compton
y'all be
was
right
bad
there.
though when I was young.
Compton, yeah,
was horrible.
Compton and Long
Compton,
Beach is the
Wisconsin,
worst.
Compton and
bro.
Long
Tough.
Beach was
Compton and Long Beach is the
horrible.
worst. Where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like really, like damn, like, like a Mexican might get on me for just
But
being
even that-
around.
That's for
That
sure.
shit-
That's for sure.
That's refreshing too though, because when I first got out, I moved to the valley. So I was staying out there in the valley and it'd be like before I went to prison, it used to be like a lot of racial tension out there.
Mhm.
But it was like smooth, but I still had to like adjust because I'm used to you go out here to Canoga Park and these type of areas.
Yeah.
Like, they be having animosity towards black people and stuff like that.
Were we not at the most? Have you noticed that? Were we not at the most? They like people
Yeah,
Norwalk and shit
yeah.
like that. They be
Yeah.
like, what? They don't
You know what I
even-
think it is though? Because at first I used to think like that, but like people that's not from America is real like territorial, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you notice that, they gonna all move in the same areas. They could see somebody as long as they know that they from the same country as them, not just Mexicans, Nigerians, Belizeans, like
Everywhere.
it's just like that. So
Yeah.
when you get to go into these areas and you
Right.
not the same thing as them, it'd be like that'd be like the division. But
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
usually
true.
fall like that.
Shit, man, we was brought here, man. We don't know.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like we can't. I mean, I'm American. Fuck it. That's at the end of the day. That's how I don't want to get into none of that. I'm a Black American. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been for almost 500-600 years, man.
Yeah. Straight up, bro. So, man, you know, not to just keep going back on your prison term, you know, but I do want to understand a little bit more of the wisdom that you did grow in there after all these years, bro. When did you come to the conclusion that what was you doing? Were you just reading? Was you know?
Or I went through like two different stages in prison. Like when I first went to prison, I had 15 years to do. I ended up doing more than 15 years, but I had 15 years to do. So my whole thing was when you 19, you can't even imagine being 30 nothing. So
Yeah.
let alone being in jail for it. So
You like I'm going crazy.
I'm just like I just was deep into the politics, all the gang banging shit, like in jail, all that type of shit, like to distract
yeah.
myself. Like let me just focus on this. Then next time I look up, 12, 13 years then went past. So
Did you take a deal or did you?
no, I
did you
went to
lose?
trial, lost. Ain't give me 15. Yeah, so I was on that. So I'm going to the hole, fucking up, catching time, doing that type of shit. But I had a cellie named Lil Bruce from M. This the person I learned the most shit from my whole time in prison. So I met him like my second year. Met him in 2009. It's like my second year in jail. But he the one that taught me studying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He explained to me, he said, college is like prison. And the first time he said it, I damn near like had to stop
He
my
said,
arm.
"What's like prison?"
Like
College
college.
is like,
Oh,
he said, prison is like college. And when he said it, I had to like stop my arm, like slap the shit out.
Yeah,
What the
but-
fuck is you talking about?
That's what he
Right,
said when you asked where your uncle was. He at school.
Like college.
That ain't still
But
there?
he explained it. He broke it down. He said like, we go to jail at so much of a young age. You supposed to be learning yourself and finding yourself at this age in college, finding the stuff you like, what you educating yourself. He like, you that age right now, you got to use these books and turn this into your college. Like the degree is on paper because at this time they wasn't really letting people. If you didn't have life, they wasn't letting people go to college. Like you was gonna be on the waiting list for 10 years. So I started educating myself. I was low key going crazy, like going overboard with the education. Started learning about black culture.
Ain't never no over the board, man. Soak that
Nah,
knowledge.
I went overboard with the black with the black stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
did.
was go- you
I
was
ain't
going
gonna lie.
to the day room
I ain't
and
gonna lie.
shit?
I ain't gonna lie. I
Was
did
you
that
going to the
before.
day room,
I feel what
fist
you
in the
said.
homie's office?
Yeah.
I used to keep a
I did that before when I got on my woke.
the letter
like-
that Willie Lynch, the speech that Willie Lynch did when they bring the slave
Yeah.
Caribbean to America. I used to keep that speech on my TV. I used to keep
Yeah.
that on my TV.
Wow.
And everybody, every time somebody said the N word, I busting it out. But then I had a setback. I was in the cell with one of my homies. I love him too, my homie Big Toon. But he probably about one of the most ignorant people on earth.
Yeah.
So he anti anything that got to do with progression, improving. He anti
all
that.
destruction. all destruction.
So he asked me one day, because at this time I'm living a double life because I'm learning all this shit, but I'm still super committed, gangbanging on the yard, big politicking. So he like, man, you learning all this shit and doing all this shit to go back out there and go kill people and sell crack. And that shit was so profound when he said it. He's like, basically, like, you wasting your time.
You actually saying your oxymoron.
At that time, that low key was, I still was going. If they would have let me out of jail that young, I would have still got out and still been gangbang. So when he said that shit, I'm like, man, fuck all that education shit. So I went on like 10 years. So I wasn't in prison doing nothing but gangbanging and running around just doing a gang of foolish shit. So the point, to answer your question, when I actually like the light bulb clicked, my last case I caught in prison, I ended up catching a knife case. So this one they could still strike you out for that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, I almost got life in prison. I need to start like being more aware, like being more conscious of my actions. So I still was running around doing crazy shit, running around, and then I ended up getting shot in the head in high desert. And
Mm.
I was in a coma for 17 days.
Damn.
And when I got up out that coma and they had me in rehab, that's when I started thinking, because I'm like, damn, now you almost got your ass killed in prison. Because I thought
Yeah.
I was dead.
Damn.
Because I got hit with the block gun, even on this incident 5 times before it knocked me out. But I never got hit in the head with it. So when everything just went black, I ain't never
That's
been
all
in
you
no coma.
remember.
So I'm like, my first thought was like, oh, I died in prison.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn.
So
Damn.
then I woke up when they was taking the feeding tube. I mean the ventilator, when they was taking the ventilator out of me, that's when I woke up. And I couldn't talk. Like, so I had to write shit down, but it was like dyslexic mumbo jumbo. So they telling me what happened. I got shot in the head, whatever the case may be. I was in a coma for however long. That's when I started really thinking like I almost died in prison. And I ain't scared to die or nothing like that. But like I said, life about history. So if my history wouldn't end it right there, what have you accomplished in life? What have
Mm.
you accomplished in life?
Mm.
And
Straight
it's
up.
over right then. So I
Straight up.
start like, man, I gotta start. But then I'm in jail, so it's still I'm bound to certain rules and regulations. So now my whole mind was just focused on getting out of prison. Like my whole thing is like, man, I gotta get out of prison,
Yeah,
bro.
get the fuck up out
I'm
of
gonna
here.
get out of
Mhm.
prison. So I started making. I still gotta abide by the rules and regulations that I'm bound to, but I gotta make my whole focus ain't to be the hardest nigga on the yard or be out here politicking. My whole focus on how I'm gonna get
Hey, we
home.
get home.
So that started being my main focus on how I'm gonna get home.
Yeah.
So I
Straight
was
up.
trying to put myself in position to meet the qualifications to go to that halfway house, and I locked in on that. I locked in on that. I started isolating myself because uh the majority of the population, for as like in the gang shit and anywhere, is gonna be followers. And for the most part, I was always the person in the forefront catching the case or, you know,
Yeah, you doing yeah.
doing some shit like that. So I start seeing too though, if I don't say nothing or do nothing, a lot of shit ain't gonna happen. So while I put myself in a position to keep taking away from my family, my daddy died when I was in prison.
Mm.
Nigga, that's the closest person I was to in life. Like, you feel me? I'm keep catching cases, catching time, Western. So I start more so just thinking about myself, like just putting myself first,
Yeah.
putting myself thinking about how I can do better for me. How can I get myself in a better position? How can I get out of jail instead of thinking about how to do some destructive shit?
Mhm.
Like how to get over, huh?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so,
Yeah.
That's what's
Man,
up.
glad you made it up out of that, bro.
sir.
And your head on right. You know what I'm saying? But what would you today tell younger you?
Younger you, I just tell them like everything that you trying to do, you could do it without gang banging. Like it's I think that be the problem. A lot of people be having the right ideas, but they don't know how to make their dreams come true. Like it's simple as what you like doing. I like writing.
Mm-hmm.
Just knowing what you like doing alone, you know how many occupations that is. Like you know how many, or even if somebody just like playing video games,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just to follow your passion.
Yeah.
You feel me? Don't none of that take. Even if somebody just I like money. All right, what you like money for? Because I like party. You could be a party promoter, but it's just the Western thing to help you chase your goals and live your
Yeah.
dreams,
Yeah,
bro,
right.
without having to go to the streets and do all
Yeah.
that shit that's
Not the-
unnecessary. But you're gonna have to come do a
Yeah.
15-year Western. I could have
Uh-huh.
been on your podcast
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Right,
You feel me?
right,
But now I
right.
gotta come back and
I think
Rebrand
me
yourself and
personally,
everything.
bro, I think a lot of people do want to be on that path of, you know what I'm saying, success, but they're afraid of what other people think of 'em. You feel me? They people opinions become their reality.
Mhm.
yeah,
And the only way somebody opinion could become your reality is if you make that shit happen.
Right.
You
Mhm.
start putting that shit in your head and you start doubting yourself. You feel me? I think a lot of people they do want to, be the cool nigga, be the gamer or stuff like that. But the environment they're around, you a nice nigga. Like he said, that word, nigga, nigga, what you mean I'm
Yeah.
nice? That'll
Yeah.
start something
that's
all
a
the way up.
compliment in real life.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people look at the wrong shit because of how we was raised as being the right shit.
But I
Then
think it's less of it, not to cut off your wisdom. I think it's less of it now because I used to be one of them people. But what
Yeah.
I learned too now, like people when they can't do something, a lot of people be jealous, right? Like growing up playing sports, like on my generation, I'm probably like one of the most known people from the community. But even before I like built that reputation playing football, oh, you one of them. You playing football, you ain't really gang banging. And I used to really at that age, shit like that mattered to me.
Right.
Because these are the people I looked up to. So it's like, oh, I ain't banging like that. So what I gotta go, what I gotta do? Because I was going whatever but it's about respect. You don't know that as a kid, but to get that respect from them, I was willing to do whatever I had to do. Some people respect don't even matter for real in real life.
Yeah.
But when you young, you not sure of yourself and you indecisive, that's a problem a lot of people gonna deal with. But now, the skateboarding, bro, especially you would have bust out a skateboard on the east side when I was a kid. You would have probably never bring that skateboard. Would have talked about you so bad. But
Right.
it's the stuff people can't do. All the people who talk about people like that, you can't go play football.
Right.
You can't skateboard. You don't know how to play the game.
You can't do nothing. You can't do that stuff. So these are the people that had them type of mentalities. And now these kids be doing so much stuff, bro, that I really don't see that peer pressure coming from that angle because these kids is out here living their life. Not all of them.
Yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
is finding their way to the
For
frivolous
sure.
shit, but
Then you find out the person that was hating on you now, he's starting to do it now. You play the game now.
Yeah.
You like,
cool
like,
checking.
yeah.
Cool checking. Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like, all right,
Yeah.
man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
now we
Because-
can't do that.
Because they don't want to acknowledge the fact that you was a part or encouraged them to do it.
Yeah.
Some people be different, man, but it's all good. But I think the importance is that's why, man, rule number one for you, man, you gotta stay home, bro.
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes,
at the
sir.
end of the day, like you said, like, oh, you playing football, you doing that, you gotta have somebody in your ear. You know what I'm saying? And what better is it for your father to be in your ear? Nah. You know what I'm saying? What they talking about is weird shit.
Most
This is
definitely.
what we doing. This is how this is gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And that's gonna give them, that's gonna encourage them and give them, you know, that confidence. Like, oh yeah, pops said it, so that's right.
Fact.
That's one thing I remember my nephew had to ask me when I was in prison. He asked me, he said, I want you to teach me how to politic. He said, nigga, I got the hardest uncles. You got to show me how to politic.
Mm.
So when he said that, it threw me off, like, learn how to politic about what, for one. And then, like, you glorify some shit that I'm trying to
Get away from.
Yeah.
get away from. And I just told him, because I think he was 19 at this time. I said, you can go be anything you want to be. I can't. I said, right now, you can go be anything you want to be. And I can't.
And you want to be a
I'd rather
politician.
do that than go be trying to learn about like how to
Yeah,
politic and all that. You don't get no credit. This shit don't count.
Right.
This ain't no history books.
Yeah.
How many people you shot on that street? How many banks you robbed? Ain't none of that shit in the history book, bro.
Right.
Nobody
Some
finna talk about
some
that shit.
young niggas, that's just prison talk to them. That nigga, that's how all them niggas in prison talk. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Real shit.
But that's why I made it my business to come back around because a lot of people, they get out of jail and they got the right idea, they got the right mindset, they living by example, but they not coming back around because it's not in their best interest. And to keep it real, it's not in my best interest to be coming back around. But I love that community so much, I'm gonna come around. And I'm not coming around for the gangbangers or nobody see no gang. I go play basketball at the community center with the kids, whoever up there. I just like being
Yeah.
active in the community. I'm gonna
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to whoever I see because
Straight up.
they got to be able to. That's the thing that deterred me when I was young was the jail talk. The people who, oh, you got shot and then you coming up here talking to people you on gangbang. That's smart shit. Or you feel me? I want the people that show me like the people that really did it, stood tall, ain't smutted up, and come back around and tell me I might consider that because I know I would have took it more serious when I was young.
Right.
Feel me? Not the people who that's coming telling me. And then all these people is smart. I'm just saying the ideology that we got, that we was raised with growing up, people that don't come back is frowned upon. So I just want to be able to, you know, to be able to relate to the people.
Nah,
who are
that's
knowing
real
I can-
talk.
That's real talk.
You gotta
Oh,
give
yes,
man,
Right.
the goal is always to make it out.
Right.
You know, regardless of what it is. Who wants to stay in some shit that was traumatic as fuck? And like you said though, it's a lot of good things too that you learn from the streets and gang banging. But at the end of the day, it's a lot that have been lost.
Right.
You want to
And-
grow up out of that.
And I could have learned all that same stuff I learned
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
I ain't had to learn
Right,
that from
right,
gangbang.
right,
I did, but I could have learned that from playing organized sports.
Right.
So before we go, man, I want to know 804 Iser. How'd you become that name? And what's coming? What you got coming in the future with your music?
All right, I gotta to give you the 804 arson, and I gotta go back to the original name,
Uh-huh.
Iceberg. My
Okay.
homie Marquise, rest in peace. He gave me that name when I was about 11 in sixth grade. We was playing football, and I got tackled and scraped all the skin off the side of my face.
Damn.
So when it was healing up, I had a big scar. He was always funny. He was like, man, the pimp Iceberg had a scar on his face. Like that's what he started calling me from that day. So I ran with that. People started calling me Icer for short. And I had a homie in jail rapping. He was rapping that Lil Wayne when he say Tommy Gun Tunchi.
Okay.
He was rapping and just said my name, 804 Icer, and I ran with that. Because that's why I started rapping in jail.
Okay.
Yeah, so all my the majority of my music is released from prison.
Okay. And what you got going on with in the future? What you see yourself
Uh,
in your music?
in the future, man, we got this merchandise coming out.
Mhm.
California Dreaming, man. We putting on whole California from the top all the way to San Diego to that borderline. We putting on. So I got a lot of merch showing off like historic parts of this state. The side across that freeway and that Calabasas side though. It's all California. So
Yeah.
we promoting that brand. You're gonna see a lot of that coming out in the future.
For sure.
I got some mixtapes coming out. We got the Welcome to the Pond coming out with my homie S. Dot from the Bach, Most Wanted Fucker. It's about a couple of I can't think of their names right
Welcome
now.
to the
but we got
Pond.
Welcome to the
Okay.
Pond. We got that come
Yes,
out.
sir.
I got another mixtape called Red Wings coming out with my boy from Detroit, Dead Zone General. Y'all can check out that California Tags. That's a single that's out right now off that
Okay.
mixtape.
Bet.
But we working, man.
Yeah, that's
what's
right,
up,
bro.
man.
Y'all, I'm a regular
right,
person. Y'all
right.
liable
Yeah.
to see me driving around
Yeah,
or something.
staying
That's
busy,
what's up,
bro.
bro.
That's what
That's
it's
what's
about, dog.
Right. Where can they find you at?
804 Icer on all platforms. Spotify, everything. Apple Music, all platforms. That's my IG and everything.
Bet. Before we get up out of here, man, I just want to acknowledge my cousin. Shout out to my cousin Tuka, man, Mac, Auntie Maxine, Auntie CC, Auntie Jackie, man, all y'all, man. They lost their granny last week, you know, to a battle of cancer. So I just want to send my condolences. I love y'all, Tuka, man. Keep your head up. You're doing a great thing. Good seeing you yesterday.
Just know I'm down and
Thank you for
diligent.
having me, man. It was
Sir.
an honor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro.
I'm down and
Already know,
diligent.
man.